Two other QBs from the class of 2004, Philip Rivers and Big Ben Roethlisberger, are included in that top 5. But this could be the last season that we see Roethlisberger collecting NFL paychecks. And the Steelers quarterback told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that it is still an option that this could be his last year. Here's again Ray Fittipaldo again on what Roethlisberger is thinking as he starts his 14th season. Wow, in Pittsburgh.
Well, he does have 3 years remaining on that contract, and yeah, he would have to give back money in terms of that signing bonus if he did retire early. So I'm sure that's going to factor into his decision making. But also, he just came out in an interview on Friday and told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that his wife would be happy if he gave up football. And he talked about spending time with his kids and how hard it was for him to come up here now at this time of the year, and knowing that a 6-month, 7-month grind is ahead of him, and he's not going to be able to spend as much time with his kids. He's got 4 small kids, and they're sort of all under that 6 or 7 age range, and he loves spending time with them. So he's on board for this year. He's definitely trying to win another Super Bowl before he retires. But he said on Friday that he's definitely going to take it year by year, and he's not going to make any decisions or any commitments long term beyond the season.
It really is amazing if you think about it. He's going to start his 14th year in Pittsburgh. Right. That'll tie some guy named Terry Bradshaw, who won 4 Super Bowls there in the Steel City, for the guys being the longest tenured quarterbacks. I mean, he walked in day 1, was the starter. Here we are going into a 14th year later, and it could be the end of the line because these murmurs and hints, we're starting to pick up what he's putting down. If this is the last of Ben Roethlisberger, what do you do in the Steel City? Because like I said, you can't just normally find a guy, plug him in, and say, we'll worry about quarterback 15 years later.
It's interesting. I do trust the people who run this organization. It's been a top-notch organization in the NFL basically since its inception, thanks to the Rooneys.
That's right.
And they don't really go through rebuilds the way you say. My former St. Louis, now Los Angeles Rams have gone through a perpetual rebuild ever since the Greatest Show on Turf days. Rebuild's not working. Trying. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to have a quarterback to win, and if Ben steps away, I think what they would want to do for a year or 2 is shed salaries like Antonio Brown, like Le'Veon Bell if he's re-upped, like Casey Hayward with his big salary, because what's the point of having those veterans who are near the end of their prime, still in their prime, but near the back end of their prime, eating up so much cap space when you have to wait to groom a quarterback 2 or 3 years to be Super Bowl ready? It's a rare exception that you go straight to the draft and get a quarterback who steps in year 1.
Like they did 14 years ago.
Yeah, but that team was built around defense. This current inception of
offense.
They're built around offense. So with the talent they have there, you need to shed some of those big salaries if you can and get as many draft picks as possible and let that quarterback build with a great young nucleus on both sides of the ball. That would be my take.
Let me just throw this out there.
Okay.
Roethlisberger retires. Bye-bye, he's gone. Instead of shedding those contracts, you keep those guys in the core that you have, and there's a guy like Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Wouldn't you go to the free agent market?
That is so rare in the NFL that a quarterback that is Super Bowl caliber becomes a free agent. And is Kirk Cousins Super Bowl caliber? I don't know. Very good numbers in Washington in the last couple of years.
You don't think he could step in with the weapons they have in Pittsburgh and be successful?
I said I don't know. I would have to look further at how Cousins' skill set would match up with guys like Brown and Bell and what they have there.
Blowing up.
I think and the way they need enough defense. I still don't think Kirk Cousins on the Pittsburgh Steelers is beating Tom Brady on the New England Patriots. Let's just put it that way. Is Cousins maybe Super Bowl caliber? Yeah. If Tom Brady and Bill Belichick weren't in the AFC, he'd be Super Bowl caliber. But you're not getting... Ben Roethlisberger barely gets by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I'm sorry, as good as Kirk Cousins is, and he's very good, he's not as good as Ben Roethlisberger, and it's already hard enough for Big Ben, it'd be even harder for Kirk Cousins. So I would not spend that boatload of money on Cousins, go the draft route.
So you'd go like, suck for Sam.
Yes.
Sam Darnold.
Or Josh Allen, because he is basically Ben Roethlisberger 2.0.